My name is Ken Rizzo. I am a professional musician, a bass player. Some of the work I do is at private parties, events that musicians refer to as club dates. For these club dates, an ad hoc grouping of players are hired to comprise the band for a specific party. Nevertheless, most of us have known each other for years. We are primarily paid for our services by the club date company, which has been hired by the client to provide music for their important event. But we are often paid a stipend, a tip, at the end of these events, directly by the client. Tips can range from $50 to $100 per musician. Rarely, however, does the client come up to each of us in the band and hand us the tip. The protocol is well established. At the end of the night, the client gives the tip to the leader of the band, and the leader is expected, even asked by the client, to split the tip evenly amongst the band members. Several years ago, I played a wedding at a large catering hall in Westchester County. There were 10 members of the band who had worked hard for 5 hours creating great music. At the conclusion of the party, while we were packing up, I noticed the leader speaking with the father of the bride, the client, in front of the bandstand, and he clearly handed cash to the leader. When the leader returned to the bandstand, I was kind of alone with him, and I said, "Great, we got a tip." Stopping me in my tracks, he quickly fired back, "Yeah, but it's so small I wouldn't know how to split it up." Immediately recognizing balderdash when I heard it, I just walked away and continued to pack up my gear. When I was heading out the door, the leader came up to me, surreptitiously palmed me $20 and said, "Here, don't tell anyone I gave this to you." Essentially, I was given $20 of hush money so I wouldn't tell any of the other 9 players that he had stolen our money, possibly as much as $1,000. Dumbfounded, I said goodnight and continued walking, but within 10 feet, I emotionally collapsed. I began to put my gear into my car, but was very confused. I was unclear what to do in that moment. I didn't want the money, but I also didn't want a face-to-face confrontation with this guy, someone who would do such a thing. Who knows what else he would do if I had confronted him. The next day, I weighed my options. Do I tell the other players? I decided to send the money back to him. I put it into a stamped envelope and included a note that said, "If the other musicians have not shared the tip, then I do not want any of it either." I never told any of the other musicians what happened. The leaders tell the club date officers which musicians they want on their bandstands. And to this day, I have never been asked to work for that leader again.